Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Elmo,
I'm Tuna.
and this week we're going to be talking about the games in Gameweek 11. Saturday ended at 8 o'clock with a Chelsea 3, Leeds United 1.
Yeah, Leeds taking the lead in this one, former Chelsea man Patrick Bamford opening the scoring before Giroud, Zuma, and Pulisic even. I've changed his name there. Pulis scoring the goals. I've been listening too much to Chris Stark and Tony Pulis instead of Pulis. Pulisic. But yeah, great start for Leeds. And, well, Bamford, he'd have loved that goal, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he liked that goal. One of those players that Chelsea just didn't give the chance to. There's going to be a lot of these over the next 10, 15 years. The amount of players that they send out on loan and they don't give them the proper chance. And Bamford's a fantastic player. He's really doing well at Leeds United. Um, I,
Yeah.
I think Leeds United's unlucky to not have more wins, um, especially with his form. But good goal as well.
Yeah, I mean, questions being asked of Mendy on this one for me.
So this
He
is this is something that you kind of spoke about on one of the other videos, where you wanted the keeper to come out, but then the keeper did come out in this one, and he also came out too far.
I mean, you're out of his area, so you've got to have some limits. And I mean, he had defenders coming back as well. I mean, Zuma's not the slowest person, and you like to think Zuma would perhaps been able to at least, put a challenge in and put Bamford off a bit.
Didn't Mendy make
But
this mistake last week?
I can't remember if it was last week, but I know we've mentioned it
I'm sure it
this
was last
season.
week that he made the same mistake as well. He came out too far. Um,
And I mean, obviously didn't spend quite as much money on Mendy as they did Azpilicueta, but Azpilicueta, Arrizabalaga. At least they both play for Chelsea.
yeah,
Yeah, questions again over the goalkeeper for me, and I mean he almost took Zuma out as well. It was desperation tackle, and I mean Bamford perhaps could initiate a contact and gone down and had the keeper sent off,
oh, don't
but
start talking about this contact and playing to get
but
people sent
no,
off.
he's skipped around the goalkeeper and tapped it into an empty net, and a great start for Leeds. And to be fair, this was a fantastic game.
Yeah, I thought that this was going to be like Leeds United getting a decent win here. They started off well. They had some decent chances. Um, it was a great weighted ball as well from Phillips
Yeah,
to Bamford. Chelsea had a
well,
corner not long after.
I was just say it wasn't the only mistake, was it? So.
Giroud headed it to like the far post, and
I think it was
Werner, you know
Christian.
the goal scorer that they spent quite a bit of money on,
Yeah, the
um,
clinical finisher.
fumbled it. Fumbled it once and then fumbled it a second time and hit the crossbar and it bounced out.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, he didn't even need to touch it. I think it was going in
I
regardless.
don't know. I think it was hitting the outside of the post, but
And he
either
tried to get
way,
a toe on it and instead got his full foot on it. And then his follow up, he managed to scoop onto the crossbar from a yard out.
and then it gets
And
cleared.
it's one of the worst misses you'll ever see in the Premier League.
It was bad, and I think that's the thing with Werner. He went on a run, scoring a couple of goals, didn't he? It took him a while to kind of get comfortable, and then he started scoring a couple of goals. But I haven't seen anything that makes him special.
No, no, he's cost a lot of money for what they've got out of him at least. And he's had 21 shots in the Premier League, scoring 4 goals.
Yeah,
Which it gives him a goal conversion ratio of 19%.
and the thing is as well, they spent all that money on him, and they had a goal scorer, a clinical goal scorer in Oliver Giroud, who
Yeah,
27th minute, I think it was Reece James with a great ball in the box, and Leeds defenders kind of stepped back. They didn't. I don't know. They just kind of left the ball, but Giroud there slots it home after scoring, was it 4 goals midweek?
Four midweek. Yep.
So I
Uh,
mean, you spent all
I
that
think
money on
I think he
spend all
tried to
that
step
money
out
on
and
him.
play offside.
You was a
I think he tried to step out and play offside. Apart from the right back, he was the only one
yeah.
that didn't. But yeah, as you were saying, with Giroud, spent all that money on Werner, and I mean, this is quite interesting because I remember, you might not remember this, but I think it was the start of last season. I mentioned that I really rate Giroud, and he doesn't get as many chances as he perhaps should. And I think he's really underrated. And you were like, no, 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 he gets what he deserves. He's not that great.
I think it was more because he was playing at Arsenal. Um,
But yeah, for me, he is one of the most underrated strikers in the league.
I
Very,
think what I've seen of him at Chelsea, I do like him. I think he's grown on me at Chelsea. Um, but again, he's not getting the games. It's like it kind of feels like the only reason that he played in this game and started in this game is because he scored 4 midweek in Champions League,
yeah,
and that shouldn't be the case. I think Giroud, since he's gone to Chelsea, has shown that he can score the goals for them. So why he's not getting regular starts, I do not know.
yeah. I mean, can you really leave him out at the moment? Is what the first question. But yeah, you've got to question why he hasn't been given game time at all. It's he's only had 6 appearances so far this season in the Premier League.
If you're a Chelsea fan, comment below who you'd rather have, whether it be Werner or Giroud. Do or your opinion on Werner, because to me, he's not brought anything special to the table. When the money that you spent on him, you kind of expect a bit more. Um, but yeah, then Chelsea went 2-0 up, 2-1 up, sorry, in the second half. Um, Kurt Zuma,
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't particularly score many, but he managed to get on the score sheet here. And Mason Mount assisting this one.
nice
Another,
easy header.
yeah, I say another promising young English lad,
Mm,
which is quite nice to see as well. But yeah, it was a good ball in. But like I say, sort of a defender's header, shall we say,
yeah,
and almost exactly what you'd expect from Zuma, especially they say he doesn't score many, but in my memory at least, most of the goals that he scores are very similar to that, running off his defender, getting a big powerful header. I mean, the lad can jump.
yeah,
I know there was questions being asked from Leeds over a foul on Liam Cooper, I think it was, in this one.
yeah.
But no, not for me. For me, I think it was Giroud that bumped him, but Giroud was wrestling with his defender and just sort of backed into him, and Cooper just dropped
Yeah.
down, Sterling style. But yeah, I mean, it certainly gave Chelsea all the momentum, but it did take a while for them to really seal the game and see it out before that lad, Pulisic.
Yeah, the man that we've just been slagging off, Werner, got the ball down the wing, put the ball
Hey,
in. Good ball in into the middle, and Pulisic finishing the game off.
yeah, and it's not much more to say about it really. It was a Calvin Lewis sort of finish.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
straight ball across and sliding
just
into.
sliding in. There was a moment not long before this where Paveda just got inside the Chelsea box and his foot were kicked.
I
Um,
was up.
but
It didn't
but
get down.
Pervader's not a pussy, so he stayed on his feet and continued playing the ball, continued playing the game. They
Had a
did
shot
discuss
which
this on,
saved.
yeah, they did discuss this on Match of the Day, and there was mixed discussions about this, kind of mixed opinions. So I can't remember who it was now, but there was one person saying that that's what we should be doing. That fair play to him, fair play to Leeds for telling players to stay on the feet in that instance, and then you've got the other side that says if you get touched, you need to be going down because that's the rules of the game at the moment. You'll get a penalty, and I don't think you should be going down just because there's touch and manipulating the game. I think that
I
this is the
mean,
whole point of it.
if anything shows why players do go down easy, it's this. VAR should have been looking at that anyway
That's
and be
it.
like,
Yeah,
"It's contact here, it should be a penalty." Just because you stay on your feet doesn't mean it's not a foul. If that happened in the centre circle, he played on, misplaced a pass, it's coming back for a free kick.
exactly. I think
So
that's
why
the
is that not a foul
I
there?
think that's the thing. So if you get kicked and you stay on your feet, it doesn't mean that it's not a foul. If you go end up
Go
on the
down,
floor, it
it
doesn't mean there is a
down.
foul.
Yeah.
And
And I said this last week, it's all about consistency. If Robertson's given away a penalty against Brighton, then this is exactly the same. It has to be a penalty. And this was at 2-1. And if Leeds get a penalty there and they go on and score it, then it's completely different.
I,
And for me, Leeds can feel hard done by.
I do think that they need to look at VAR, and if you had VAR checking that, I'm not saying whether it would have been a penalty or not, but if you had VAR checking that, even though he stayed up, then that had completely changed the mentality of strikers and
Yep.
of attackers going into the box and whether they're going to be going down or softly or not. Because over the weekend there was quite a few players that went down very softly for next to nothing. Obviously, we mentioned Sterling, and I think that he went down very softly, and he's known for it. But I think if you've got either the referee, the linesman, even though they don't really pay attention to anything anymore because VAR's there, or VAR watching it, then that should change the mentality of the players, and it'll change the mentality of players, younger players that's coming through as well, because we don't want them to see that. Watching players like Sterling, thinking, "Oh, you got to go down, otherwise you don't get anything," because what's sport going to be like in 5 years' time, where everyone's just like rolling around on the floor? You'll have like six people rolling around on the floor because they just got touched. It's
Exactly. And this is where the FA and referees need to step in and, do their part.
mm,
Say all it takes is one referee to give that, and then it sort of follows on. You need to sort of buck the trend at times and be brave and give a decision like that, which, I mean, this potentially cost Leeds at least a point.
Do you think there's a fear in whether it's the referee on the field or the VAR referee? Do you think there's a fear that because it's not the norm, because other referees don't give it or VARs don't look at things like that, that they feel like they shouldn't be the odd one out kind of thing?
I feel so. I mean, I feel sort of like, how you hear the goalkeepers union, referees union. If he gives that, and then next week his colleague doesn't, then his colleague's going to get criticised. And I think it's sort of, oh well, we'll be a unit as such. But I mean, it's VAR age. Give it. VAR refers, checks it.
I
Like,
mean, the, it's things like this that could give VAR a little bit of a good reputation, because they've had so much bad reputation throughout all last season and so far this season, that it needs things like this to try and get people on the side of, yes, we do want VAR, because I see so many tweets from like Sky Sports and other sports broadcasting companies and things like that, where they're asking fans, is VAR ruining football? And these aren't questions that we should be asking. When goal line technology came in, that was a big change, and
yeah,
we weren't asking, is that ruining football? But we bring something like VAR in, and that's not a question that we should be asking, because we should be bringing things into the sport to improve the game and not make it more controversial and to make it worse.
and see, for me, VAR isn't ruining football; it's ruining English football.
Yeah,
It's generally capable everywhere else most of the time, but you never hear of 4 or 5 instances every weekend from Germany at VAR getting stuff wrong or being controversial. But I did like what Bielsa had to say after the game. He said that he never questioned refereeing. Referee didn't decide the game; it was them, and defeats you need to learn from, which is exactly what you want to hear. I mean, I imagine he said a lot different in private, but it's a smart move, really. You might not have agreed with that, but you don't want to get yourselves in trouble, do you? So
I'm just glad that he stayed on his feet. I've got so much respect for the lad. You know, I've slagged so many people off this year, so I've got so much respect for him. But that win kind of kept Chelsea kind of fighting for the title. You know, they're challenging. They're up there. They're third with 22 points, so they're 2 points behind top.
makes sense from
Leeds,
top, didn't it? For a few, well, at the end of the day, at least.
yeah. Leeds United, you know, I think they've been unlucky. They've played so well in so many of their games, and they've been unlucky to get results. But they're currently 14th with 14 points, only winning 2 in the last 6 games. So I think there's a lot more to come from them, and I think they'll definitely stop up this season. And if they do, I think, and you know, they can spend some money because I think Bielsa's doing really good things with Leeds United. I hate saying that. As a Man United fan, and my dad's a Leeds fan. I hate saying that, but they could do well. They could be a team that really starts being the old Leeds United back when they was in the Premier League years ago. They could be a team that's kind of up there. You know, like your Everton, where they're just hanging around the European spot.
Yeah,
I could. I don't see why in a year or two that they can't be a team like that, or like Leicester. Maybe not winning the league. I don't want to wish that on them, but you know, being up there and being one of those teams that you're not looking forward to playing.
I mean, for me, for that to happen, they need to strengthen defensively. They
Yeah,
concede far too many goals. As I've said in a couple of videos this weekend, that's what they need to work on. They're fantastic going forward, and you just think some of the games that they've had, if they could keep clean sheets or stop a couple of goals going in, then they'd be a lot higher in the league, without a doubt.
yeah. I just think you know this is the first year back up, so obviously they've got some work to do. They've got some players to bring in, and like you say, strengthen the defense. The keeper, Meslier, is it?
Yep.
Fantastic. All the games that I watched him in this year, and I've got him in my fantasy team. I kind of swap him, put him in now and
Yeah.
again, depending on the
I
playing.
mean, he's had a couple of questionable moments the past couple of weeks where he's given away a ball pretty sloppily, but it hasn't
Yeah,
cost him. And I
I
mean,
think he
he's a young
probably could
lad,
have
he'll
done
learn.
more. He probably could have done more for the thing he got who scored with Eder.
In this one, Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma. I think
Yeah.
he could have done a bit better with the Zuma goal, but you know, he's pulled off some really good saves, and I think he's made some of the games, you know, the goal, the score, a lot less than what it could have been if it was another keeper.
I mean, it's not often you concede 3 goals and win the battle of the goalkeepers in this game.
No.
So,
Thanks for watching our videos. Hope you've enjoyed them. Please subscribe if you want to watch the rest of our season, where we'll be bringing you all the matches, our predictions, and plenty of other things surrounded around football. Please follow us on our socials. They're all down below as well. We've got our own YouTube channels as well. Please go and check them out. Plenty of different kind of content across all them as well. I've been Elmo.
I've been Tuna.
I'll take care.